Get down. Sit. Good job, kitty cat.
My cats know how to sit. Yours know how to sit. If you're here, it means I've had enough. Okay, that sounds really dramatic. So lately, I've been feeling very alone. And for anybody who's like about to text me and be like, Caitlin, I love you, you're not alone. I know, okay, I know. I the other day was looking around. Okay, whoa, hold on. Get off. I'm realizing that for the first time, I'm the only person in my like immediate life, I guess. I'm the only one that's single. I found myself coming to the conclusion that like once I meet somebody and once I fall in love again, I won't be lonely anymore. But then that brought me into this whole other spiral of like, I know, if I get into another relationship, am I going to be getting into another relationship because I'm lonely? And if that's the case, then I don't want a relationship, because the point of being in a relationship is not to not be alone. It's to spend time with somebody that you truly care about and love and build a life with them and be there for each other and grow together, etc. 1, having everyone around you be in a happy relationship. 2, not being people's first choice because everyone's in a relationship. And feeling very stagnant in my life since I've graduated college. Everything's kind of added up to me feeling this loneliness, and it's annoying because I know I'm not alone. If you know me, then you know that I'm the biggest believer in you need to spend time with yourself. And at one point, I even questioned whether or not I even want to be in a relationship, because I feel like we lose ourselves in our relationships because we just become the significant other of the other person. And then at one point, I was thinking about whether or not marriage or long-term relationships are even good for you, because someone like me who like throws my entire life into my relationship and then gets sidetracked and distracted, and then I stop pursuing things and I lose, you know, like I'll stop. That's a different video for a different time. I've decided I don't want to feel sorry for myself anymore. I don't want to feel lonely anymore, because why? I've always struggled with loneliness. Loneliness has always been the main festerer of my any kind of sadness I've ever felt. I'm gonna show you guys what I do when I feel alone and sad and I feel like I don't know what to do, because clearly no one's gonna come in on a white horse to save me anytime soon. I'll go. I watched all these strawberries to eat. It's not gonna happen. Jocelyn bought fruits and then left for a week to go camping, so now I have to finish all the fruits before they go back. As a person that's always reminding other people to be there for yourself, because it's actually pretty good for you, because you learn a lot about yourself, I'm gonna practice what I preach. Lately, the past few weeks, I've been doing things by myself. Yesterday I went to the Getty, again by myself. I love that place. Me, what I've been trying to do, I've been trying to go to the yarn store, but Justin doesn't let me buy yarn anymore. But guess what? Justin's not here. And Joann's is closed now, so I want to branch out. I want to see what my yarn store options are. Pretty cute outfit, if I say so myself. I really have never vlogged here outside. I'm gonna put my camera away. I'm insecure. Made it. That was insane. Honestly, I was just gonna peruse, find some yarn that I liked, leave, and that's not what happened. I did get yarn though. The guy that was working there was very friendly, obviously, and he's like, oh, is this your first time here? And I was like, yeah, it is. And he literally gave me a tour. All the yarn I showed right now, he gave me a tour. He's like, this is our wool yarn, this is our alpaca, this is our cotton and whatever mix. He brought me like towards the back kinda, and there was literally a table of like 5 or 6 older women just sitting in a circle. and knitting and talking and hanging out. And then they were like, oh, have you knit anything before? And I said, oh, well, I'm just getting into knitting. I just knit a raglan sweater. And all of them were like, they were like, oh, these youngins, they're passing us by, like they do everything so easily. Anyway, they literally helped me pick out a pattern. They brought out like pamphlets of magazines. They helped me pick out a pattern. They showed me the yarn that the magazine used. They had that yarn. They showed me other yarn options, and they helped me pick out a yarn, one that I liked and two that would work with that same pattern. I sat there with them and I made my gauge swatch, and it ended up working out perfectly. She taught me how to do that. She taught me how to gauge my yarn and whatever. Here's my little swatch. Isn't she cute? They only had 5 in stock, and the lady literally helped me calculate how much of this yarn I would need for the sweater that I wanted to make. They printed out the pattern for me and they sent me on my way. I think I was here for like 2 hours, I'm not even kidding. That was crazy, that was so fun. I don't know, I just feel so content and so happy. One, had I stayed at home feeling sorry for myself, I would have just still been at home feeling sorry for myself. 2, had I come here with somebody to like hide behind, I don't think I would have ended up sitting down and knitting with them. I kind of mostly was like listening to their conversation. It was just nice to hear like what older ladies talk about. But it was nice to just be in their world for a little bit, these random people, and I don't know, I feel better. I feel happier. They were so nice and so polite, and they were just so eager to like help me out. But yeah, 10 out of 10. They're called the Knitterie Parisine. It's French. Now, let's see how long I was there too long. Messed up my whole day schedule. I was gonna go to another yarn store, but I think we're going to skip that, and I'm gonna go to the Baggu store. I parked like 2 blocks down so that way I could enjoy the walk. I'm never in Hollywood. That was very quick and very easy. We are down the street from this place. I want to take you guys too. It reminded me of the next step, I guess. I don't know, the next thing I do. We're like down the street, so I'll take you. Not too shabby, huh? It looks way better in person. The camera makes it look like it's so far away. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes social media feeds into the whole thing, and that's why I like to be on social media as little as possible. It's very easy to feel alone when everyone you know is like buying a house, having a baby, getting married, moving in with their besties, starting that one job that you low-key applied for and you didn't get, but now they have it, so that's great. Every once in a while, I like to just be outside. Let's go feed the kitty cats. Thank you. So I went to the store and I got 2 new sizes of needles. I don't think I couldn't remember if it was a 9mm or a 6mm, so I got both. I think now I'm going to redo my swatch just so I know that I'm like using the right size. Today it was exactly what I wanted. I think The yarn store alone was such a good example of like why you should do stuff whenever you feel lonely or alone. The question I ask myself a lot is like, why do we get lonely? Like, I feel like for the first time in my entire life, I'm actually surrounded by good people who like have my best interest in mind when it comes like to the way they treat me. And yet here I am. I think today was the perfect reminder to myself that it's not like being alone is not a sad thing. So it's not a bad thing to literally be alone. Did you see that? I'm realizing I don't know how to read knit patterns. As I'm sitting here doing my gauge swatch, I can't help but think like whenever I get in these ruts of like feeling a little bit lonely, I always try to think about like why, because like I said already, I'm not lacking in my social life. I'm surrounded by a lot of good people. I think finally for the first time in my life I've still fallen back into this lonely mindset, and it makes me wonder like why do people like why does anybody ever feel alone? The best way I can think about it, at least from what I feel like I'm going through, is I feel alone in my experience. I feel like nobody I know is really going through what I'm going through right now, and I'm not gonna get into more specifics, but stuff like finding out who I am like as an adult outside of school and homework. The thing that gets me through any tough times like mentally is knowing that it's not forever. This too shall pass. You know what though, I did get my period yesterday, so like that could also be the reason why like I feel the way that I feel, because every time I get my period I'm not even kidding, I have an existential crisis. She's gonna look so good. Okay, you guys figure out, you guys keep thinking about what it means to be lonely and why loneliness happens, and I'm gonna figure out what KRSP knit on RS purl on working stitch, knit every row. I'm gonna figure out what that means. You guys come to the conclusion of what the meaning of life is. Okay, I'll see you next time. Where's my phone?
I want to show you how to follow a pattern with confidence and success.
I don't think I have the patience for this. Welcome to my room. So I just finished editing everything you just watched. What you just witnessed was the documentation of my quarter life crisis. At the time, I thought I was just lonely. I thought that I was seeking community or friendship or a relationship, romantic relationship. I thought I was lacking in those areas, even though I literally said I knew I wasn't. But in actuality, I don't think it was me being lonely at all, because now, guys, I got through my quarter life crisis. I got through it. Now that I'm on the other end of it, I'm realizing that I was just struggling with, it's gonna sound really dramatic, I just didn't really know who I was anymore. I feel like I just had like a growth spurt for myself, like an emotional growth spurt is the best way I can describe it. I felt like a young adult because I was a young adult, and now I feel, I mean, I'm still a young adult, but I feel more rooted in who I am as an adult. Does that make sense? I want to address some of the things that I talked about in the video just to clarify, because I think what I'm saying is a little bit blurred by how I was feeling. I filmed this at the time where I was watching a lot of like Damon Dominique videos, and all his videos are very philosophical, so you can blame him for the reason I wanted to make a video like this. I brought up romantic love and like whether or not it was the solution to loneliness, and then that made me question if being in a relationship is even good for you. Obviously that's not the case. But I think because I felt so lonely, I was like, well, what can I do practically that can make me feel less lonely? And so I thought, okay, well, if I'm in a relationship I won't feel lonely. But then I knew that I didn't or don't want to be in a relationship right now. So why was I gonna force myself to be in a relationship just so I didn't feel alone? Like, that was what I was grappling with. But I didn't know at the time that I did not want a relationship. I was just kind of like, I guess that's what I gotta do to figure my my stuff out. I brought up how social media makes me feel forgotten about. I try to actively not be on social media that much. It's really bad because if I open TikTok, I'll open it for like hours. I was saying before how it's really hard to like watch everyone progressing in their lives and you're kind of still in the same place. I think the comparisons were bothering me, not because I wished that I was getting married or having kids or moving out of state, you know, like it's not because I wanted any of those things that I was watching all these people do and get. It was because I was watching everybody reach great milestones, but none of those milestones were anything that I actually wanted for myself. Yes, it made me feel forgotten about because everyone's progressing and I'm not, but it was really hard for me to not even know where I wanted to progress. Like, it didn't make me jealous that they were doing these things. It made me jealous that they knew what they wanted from their lives. Don't know, that like literally all came from social media. Like that one took a while for me to unpack because I tend to be very happy for people and the things that they, you know, get to do or experience or go through. It was just so frustrating watching everybody accomplish things, and it was like, well, I don't want to accomplish that necessarily, as great as it is. So what the F am I doing? Like if I'm not doing that, what am I doing? And yeah, I don't know. So I didn't know. At the end of the day, I don't think I was lonely, because I have the exact same amount of people in my life right now than I did then. I realized I was just too worried about the future. I was stressed out that I didn't know what I wanted for my future. I was stressed out that I was at the beginning of an extremely gut-wrenching career because of the industry I want to go into, and also that in terms of like romance and getting married and stuff, like I was also still starting from the very beginning. So like there was so many unknowns in my life. There still are. All these things are still unknown. I still don't really have answers for any of these questions, but I'm realizing now what I want from my life, which is good. But I also realized that going from where I am and from what I want my life to be and look like, stuff has to happen in the middle. All these unknowns that I'm so worried and stressed out about, time in between is where I figure that out. And so I'm now just trying to live in the present. I'm trying to just appreciate what I have. I have a good life. I mean, my job kind of sucks, but I'll find a better one. And one day my life's not gonna look like this anymore. The world is my oyster. See, now I'm like I'm viewing life as a cup half full now. Before I was cup half empty. Now I'm cup. I have a, forget it. I don't even know why I bother talking. Goodbye. Subscribe.